Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today we're diving into the ultimate list of the top 30 new upcoming Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 games for 2025 and 2026. From epic RPGs to fast-paced action, quirky adventures, and nostalgic remasters, there's something here for every type of gamer. Whether you're a longtime Nintendo fan or just looking to see what's next for the Switch ecosystem, this video has you covered. So buckle up, grab your Joy-Cons, and let's explore the most exciting titles you won't want to miss over the next couple of years. Marvel Cosmic Invasion brings the intensity of classic arcade brawlers to the Nintendo Switch with a modern Marvel twist that feels both nostalgic and fresh. Set against the backdrop of a universe under siege, players assemble a squad of iconic heroes, ranging from street-level fighters like Spider-Man and Daredevil to cosmic powerhouses such as Silver Surfer and Captain Marvel, to face an overwhelming interdimensional threat. The game blends side-scrolling action with cinematic combat sequences, letting players chain fluid combos, team attacks, and ultimate abilities that light up the screen with style. Each character offers a distinct combat rhythm, encouraging experimentation and synergy in both solo and co-op modes. Environments shift from grounded urban chaos to cosmic battlefields, all crafted in crisp pixel art detail, enhanced by modern lighting and particle effects. Marvel Cosmic Invasion feels like a love letter to the golden age of beat-em-ups, but with enough depth and flair to stand tall among today's best action experiences. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. In this definitive version of a modern classic, you step into the shoes of the lone survivor emerging from Vault 111 into a sprawling post-nuclear world known as the Commonwealth. The game blends open-world exploration, survival mechanics, and first-person/third-person combat, giving you the freedom to shape your journey, whether by scavenging ruined buildings, building settlements, forging alliances, or taking on the mysteries left in the wake of global devastation. The Anniversary Edition brings together the base game and all 6 major story and workshop expansions, and layers on over 150 additional pieces of content from the Creation Club, new weapons, companion options, subtle quest lines, and gameplay tweaks. An integrated Creations menu lets you browse and install curated content more seamlessly than ever. For fans of deep RPG systems and emergent sandbox moments, this version offers a highly complete experience on a hybrid handheld console that allows you to carry the wasteland in your backpack. Lost Hellden. On the planet Era, every newborn is bound by the enigmatic Nexus ritual to one of the 7 deadly sins. Succumbing to your assigned sin leads to a fate of monstrous corruption. In Lost Hellden, you follow the story of twins, one cursed with all 7 sins, the other untouched, and their journey unfolds into a narrative about identity, choice, and challenging the destiny you've been given. The game's world is brought to life through richly detailed, hand-painted environments, using a deep 2D pipeline, layering painterly artwork over 3D geometry to allow dynamic camera movement, lighting, and weather effects. Combat merges bursts of real-time action with tactical pause moments, letting players execute movements, attacks, and skills before entering a reaction phase, where positioning, timing, and counters are crucial. With 8 playable characters, customizable abilities, job systems, and rewarding exploration, Lost Hellden promises a JRPG experience that balances story-driven depth with gameplay that tests both reflexes and strategy.
2 distinct phases. The action phase, during which you can move and change characters freely. Like in any action game, you can perform basic attacks or use abilities. During this phase, enemies react based on your actions but do not attack you.
The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. In this action RPG, you take on the role of Elliot, a daring young adventurer partnered with Faye, a fairy companion whose role goes beyond mere sidekick. She supports you in exploration, combat, and even co-op play. The setting is the continent of Philadelphia, where humanity's last stronghold stands behind magical walls, and newly discovered ruins beckon with mystery and danger. Gameplay merges intuitive real-time action with deeper mechanics. You'll switch between 7 different weapon types: swords, bows, chains, sickles, and more, each upgradable through magicite crystals that tweak their performance and behavior. Faye adds a layer of strategy, allowing you to call on support abilities, movement assistance, and optional second-player involvement. Visually, the game uses the HD 2D style, pixel art enhanced with dynamic lighting and depth, to evoke classic adventure games while delivering modern fluidity. The story promises to expand beyond the present moment into echoes of the past, tying exploration of ruins with a hidden history that spans centuries.
Find the playstyle that works for you. Your fairy companion, Faye, can also attack and pick up items. You can control both Elliot and Faye separately, or 2 players can control them at the same time.
In Tales of Xillia Remastered, you step into the vibrant world of Reimagined, a land where spirits and humans share a fragile harmony. You begin by choosing one of 2 protagonists: Jude, a medical student drawn into conflict, or Mila, a spirit-bound figure with a mission of her own. As their separate paths intertwine, you engage with a narrative that blends personal stakes, political intrigue, and a deeper mystery about the very nature of mana. Gameplay revolves around the series' signature dual-raid linear motion battle system, real-time action where you link with allies, trigger special support skills, and chain combos in fluid motion while navigating vast landscapes, towns, and dungeons. In this remaster, you'll find updated visuals, improved UI, and quality-of-life features such as autosave, an early accessible grade shop, and full inclusion of past downloadable content, so your focus can remain on exploration and combat rather than setup. If you're drawn to action-oriented JRPGs with strong storytelling, layered systems, and a world worth revisiting, this version offers a refresh that retains its original charm while adapting to modern sensibilities.
Charge! Tiger Blade! Sigma!
I can't give up. My mission won't let me. I must keep moving forward.
You go to such lengths to protect humans, so it's only fair that I become strong enough to protect spirits too.
You will strive to...
In Mina the Hollower, you step into a gothic horror-inspired world as Mina, a brilliant inventor and hollower tasked with saving a cursed island. The game blends action-adventure exploration with precise combat, as Mina wields her whip, the Night Star, alongside various sidearms and trinkets that let you adapt to different enemies and challenges. Its visual style evokes classic 8-bit handheld titles, combining pixel art charm with modern design touches. And the world is rich with hidden paths, secrets, and monster-filled locales that reward curiosity. Gameplay emphasizes careful observation, timing, and strategy in combat, while encouraging exploration to uncover the island's mysteries. Drawing inspiration from The Legend of Zelda, Castlevania, and Bloodborne, the game balances nostalgic aesthetics with tight, responsive controls. With its challenging encounters and layered environments, Mina the Hollower promises a satisfying mix of discovery, combat, and atmospheric storytelling that appeals to fans of methodical, story-driven action-adventure games. The HD 2D remake of Dragon Quest I and II brings the foundational tales of the Erdrick saga into a modern pixel art style that balances nostalgia with crisp, detailed visuals. Players experience 2 intertwined stories. First, taking the role of the descendant of Erdrick to confront the Dragon Lord and restore peace to Alefgard, and then guiding a new generation of heroes as they unite against an emerging threat in Dragon Quest II. The remake enriches exploration with new areas, including previously inaccessible dungeons and hidden regions, and introduces additional story content that adds depth to the original plots. Combat has been updated with new mechanics such as sigils and scrolls, as well as the ability to control additional party members, encouraging strategic planning in battles. Minigames and collectible systems provide optional side content that rewards exploration. With its combination of classic turn-based RPG gameplay, expanded narrative, and visually striking HD 2D presentation, this remake offers both longtime fans and newcomers a layered, engaging adventure across 2 legendary journeys.
And broaden the scope of battle. Sigils are vital to the story of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and will upgrade certain attacks and spells.
Magnificent!
Sigils can unlock new souped-up skills, incredible attacks and magic that could help you turn the tide of battle.
Mario Tennis Fever takes the classic tennis formula of the Mario series and expands it with both depth and playful chaos. Players can select from a roster of 38 characters, each with distinct stats and playstyles, and pair them with one of 30 unique Fever rackets that influence how their shots behave. The new Fever shot mechanic adds a strategic layer. As you build the Fever gauge, you can unleash shots with special effects that can disrupt your opponent, from icy surfaces to shrinking effects, making matches feel dynamic and unpredictable. Traditional elements like topspins, slices, lobs, and defensive maneuvers remain, but motion-based controls and slide moves offer more immersion and responsiveness. Game modes include classic tournaments, challenge-focused trial towers, and a mix-it-up mode inspired by wonder effects, blending tactical tennis with unpredictable stage hazards. On top of the competitive play, the story mode injects humor and personality, following Mario and friends as they contend with a magical mishap that transforms them into babies, giving context and charm to the matches.
Play matches with unexpected rules in Mix-It-Up mode. Even some where you'll experience wonder effects. In the online modes, choose between casual play with customizable rules in Online Room.
Dinkum invites players to carve out a life in the Australian outback, blending survival, exploration, and town building into a single open-world experience. You start with just the basics, tools and a plot of land, and gradually expand your homestead by farming crops, raising livestock, fishing, catching insects, and gathering resources from the surrounding wilderness. Dynamic weather and seasonal changes influence both wildlife and agriculture, requiring thoughtful planning and adaptability. Beyond resource management, you develop a community, constructing homes, shops, and public buildings, while customizing the town layout and personalizing your character. Exploration leads you through diverse biomes, each with unique flora, fauna, and challenges, including interactions with wild animals. Solo and multiplayer modes allow collaboration with friends, from trading resources to participating in seasonal events, fostering a sense of shared progress. The game's systems reward creativity and strategy, offering a compelling sandbox where every choice shapes both your settlement and the story of your life in the outback. Assassin's Creed Shadows immerses players in 16th century Japan, blending stealth, strategy, and action in a richly detailed open world. You follow 2 protagonists, Naoe, a nimble shinobi, and Yasuke, a formidable samurai, each with distinct abilities that create varied approaches to exploration and combat. Naoe excels in speed, agility, and stealth, allowing you to infiltrate enemy compounds unseen, while Yasuke brings brute force and masterful swordplay, opening opportunities for direct confrontations. The game features dynamic weather and a day-night cycle that affect enemy behavior and mission strategies, adding depth to each encounter. Beyond combat, the world is filled with secrets, side activities, and narrative threads that flesh out the era's cultural and political backdrop without spoiling the main story. Balancing high-stakes stealth with engaging swordplay and exploration, the game delivers a nuanced experience for players who appreciate thoughtful, varied gameplay. Assassin's Creed Shadows is scheduled for release on Nintendo Switch 2 in December 2025, promising a blend of historical immersion and refined mechanics for both longtime fans and newcomers. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment offers a sweeping hack-and-slash experience that immerses players in the legendary Imprisoning War, a pivotal conflict in Hyrule's history. You can take control of iconic characters such as Princess Zelda and King Rauru, each with unique abilities and combat styles, as you battle through massive hordes of enemies across sprawling battlefields. The game emphasizes fluid combat, combo chains, and strategic positioning, while mission objectives, like protecting allies or capturing key points, add layers of tactical depth. Two-player local co-op via split screen or game share allows friends to team up and tackle battles together, enhancing replayability. Amiibo support unlocks additional weapons and crafting materials, while connections to previous Zelda save data offer subtle bonuses. Visually, the game combines familiar Hyrule aesthetics with dynamic environments and large-scale enemy encounters, heightening the sense of epic conflict. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is scheduled for release on November 6, 2025, delivering a canon-rich narrative and intense action for both longtime fans and newcomers alike.
Take on hordes of enemies as you fight alongside your allies. Like this brave Korok. Get familiar with your allies' abilities so you know which character to swap to in any situation. Zonai devices can...
Octopath Traveler 0 is an ambitious prequel to the beloved Octopath Traveler series, scheduled for release on December 4th, 2025, for both Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. The game introduces a customizable protagonist, letting players shape their appearance, voice, and starting abilities, adding a fresh layer of personal connection to the story. Players are tasked with rebuilding their hometown, recruiting over 30 characters who can join the party or contribute to the town's development. Combat has been expanded to include up to 8 characters on the battlefield, with a front and back row system that emphasizes strategy, positioning, and skill synergy. The game retains the series' signature HD 2D visuals, combining pixel art charm with dynamic lighting and immersive environments. Storytelling explores the origins and connections of new and familiar characters, balancing deep narrative with strategic, turn-based gameplay. With these features, Octopath Traveler 0 promises to deliver both nostalgia and innovation for longtime fans and newcomers alike.
Are you going to find the people who took our home from us?
Witness a tale of beginnings that unfolds across Orstera.
Monster Hunter Stories 3: Twisted Reflection continues the turn-based RPG tradition of the series, while expanding both its story and combat systems. Players take on the role of the heir to Azuria, the kingdom's only Rathalos rider, journeying beyond the Meridian to investigate strange phenomena that threaten the world. The game introduces darker narrative themes, including the return of twin Rathalos that stir tensions between warring nations, giving the story a sense of epic scale and urgency. Gameplay emphasizes tactical, turn-based battles with new mechanics like Synchro Rush, allowing coordinated attacks with your monsties, and mid-air switching between partners to adapt to dynamic combat scenarios. Exploration has been expanded into more open-world environments, filled with secrets, side quests, and collectible resources that encourage strategic planning. As you nurture and bond with your monsties, each decision influences combat synergy and progression, creating a personalized adventure. Monster Hunter Stories 3: Twisted Reflection is scheduled for release on March 13, 2026, promising both longtime fans and newcomers a richly layered, strategic RPG experience with a compelling narrative and deep customization options.
Keep it up!
Looking good! You did it!
Yeah.
Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home Special Edition invites players back to the quaint village of Alba, a place once bustling with life that now needs careful nurturing and attention. You step into the role of a returning resident, tasked with revitalizing the community through farming, fishing, and interacting with townsfolk, all while uncovering the village's hidden stories. The game emphasizes open-ended progression, letting players plant and harvest crops, raise livestock, upgrade their farm, and develop relationships in a relaxed yet rewarding environment. New gameplay mechanics and enhanced graphics provide a fresh take on the classic Harvest Moon formula, encouraging exploration and experimentation without overwhelming the player. Social interactions and village events add narrative depth, giving a sense of growth and personal impact on the community. With its blend of cozy simulation, strategic resource management, and charming storytelling, this special edition offers both longtime fans and newcomers alike an immersive experience. Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home Special Edition is set for release on October 30th, 2025, promising a calm yet engaging adventure for the Switch 2 audience. Resident Evil Requiem returns the franchise to its survival horror roots, blending tense exploration, strategic combat, and puzzle solving within the devastated streets of post-nuclear Raccoon City. Players take on the role of Grace Ashcroft, an FBI technical analyst drawn into a series of mysterious deaths at the Wrenwood Hotel, uncovering the dark secrets of the city while navigating its treacherous ruins. The game allows flexible gameplay, with both first-person and third-person perspectives, catering to different playstyles and heightening immersion. Combat is deliberate and resource-conscious, emphasizing the careful management of ammunition and tools, while environmental puzzles and investigative sequences require observation and problem-solving. Narrative threads reveal personal connections and hidden histories without spoiling major plot points, adding emotional depth to the tense atmosphere. With a chillingly detailed world, haunting audio design, and strategic survival mechanics, Resident Evil Requiem promises a gripping horror experience. It is scheduled for release on February 27, 2026, offering both longtime fans and newcomers a compelling entry into the series on Nintendo Switch 2.
Grace, stay close to me.
I'm coming!
Keep moving. What's wrong? I'll explain later.
Pokémon Pokopia offers a fresh twist on the Pokémon universe by putting players in the role of a Ditto that has transformed into a human, tasked with turning a barren landscape into a thriving haven for Pokémon. The game combines life simulation and crafting mechanics, allowing players to gather materials like berries, wood, and stones to create furniture, cultivate crops, and build homes that accommodate a variety of Pokémon species. Befriending Pokémon is central to the experience, as each companion teaches the Ditto new moves that interact with the environment, unlocking new areas and gameplay possibilities. The game features a dynamic day-night cycle and diverse biomes, encouraging exploration and careful planning of how to develop the land while maximizing the comfort and happiness of the Pokémon inhabitants. Side activities, hidden collectibles, and seasonal events provide additional layers of engagement, making the world feel alive and rewarding. Pokémon Pokopia is scheduled for release in 2026, promising a relaxing yet deeply engaging adventure that blends strategy, creativity, and the charm of the Pokémon universe for both longtime fans and newcomers.
No need to rush, though. Go at your own pace, and you'll have a wonderful space before you know it.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade brings the beloved action RPG to the Nintendo Switch 2, offering both longtime fans and newcomers an opportunity to experience Midgar like never before. The game reimagines the classic city with updated visuals and a combat system that fuses real-time action with strategic planning, allowing players to seamlessly switch between characters, use materia abilities, and exploit enemy weaknesses. This version includes the episode intermission DLC, which introduces Yuffie Kisaragi as a playable character in a new storyline that complements the main narrative and provides fresh perspectives on familiar events. Players can also access a streamlined mode, letting them focus on story progression while still enjoying cinematic battles and exploration. With richly detailed environments, engaging character interactions, and layered side missions, the game captures both the emotional weight and high stakes of the original story. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is scheduled for release on January 22, 2026, promising a polished, immersive experience that honors the legacy of one of the most iconic RPGs in history.
No freaking way!
Boss! The Duskbloods immerses players in a dark, Gothic-inspired world where the first blood has triggered a twilight, merging locations across time and space and creating a hauntingly atmospheric battlefield. Players assume the role of Bloodsworn, vampire-like warriors, each with unique weapons and abilities, navigating both cooperative and competitive challenges in dynamic PPVE matches. Combat emphasizes strategy and timing, as players can earn victory points through direct engagement, environmental manipulation, or fulfilling secondary objectives. Matches are enriched by dynamic events such as surprise enemy spawns and special challenges, keeping gameplay fresh and unpredictable. The blood customization system allows players to tailor abilities, traits, and even narrative roles, offering a personal touch to every session. Up to 8 players can join a single match, encouraging both team coordination and individual skill. The Duskbloods balances From Software's signature challenging combat with innovative multiplayer design, delivering a tense and rewarding experience. It is scheduled for release in 2026, promising a unique and engaging online adventure for the Nintendo Switch 2 audience.
The moon tears will flow for one.
Witchbrook invites players into a magical life simulation RPG set in the enchanting town of Mossport, where you assume the role of a new witch attending Witchbrook College. The game blends academic life with exploration and personal growth, offering classes in potion brewing, alchemy, broom flying, and other magical disciplines that influence both gameplay and story progression. Daily life extends beyond the classroom, including activities such as gardening, fishing, photography, and participating in seasonal festivals, providing a cozy and immersive routine. Interactions with the town's residents are central to the experience, with opportunities to form friendships, pursue romances, and even manage small businesses, adding depth to the world and shaping how the community responds to your actions. The game features a dynamic day-night cycle, seasonal changes, and a living world where NPCs follow their own schedules, creating a sense of life and continuity. Its pixel art style combines charm with detail, enhancing exploration and magical experimentation. Witchbrook is scheduled for release in 2026, promising a relaxing yet engaging adventure for Nintendo Switch players who enjoy strategy, customization, and narrative-driven life simulation. Terminator 2D No End Fate brings classic 2D side-scrolling action to the Nintendo Switch 2, blending pixel art aesthetics with intense arcade-style gameplay. Players can step into the roles of Sarah Connor, John Connor, or the T-800, navigating missions that expand on the narrative of Terminator 2 Judgment Day without spoiling the original story. Combat emphasizes fast-paced action, precise timing, and strategic use of each character's abilities to overcome waves of enemies and challenging bosses. The game features multiple modes, including Story, Arcade, Infinite, Boss Rush, and Training, providing both structured progression and replayability for those seeking high scores or mastery of combat mechanics. Environmental hazards, varied enemy types, and weapon upgrades keep gameplay engaging, while the side-scrolling design emphasizes fluid movement and tactical positioning. Despite licensing constraints, the game maintains the essence of the iconic franchise through atmosphere, enemy design, and narrative tone. Terminator 2D No Fate is scheduled for release on November 26, 2025, offering fans and newcomers an accessible yet challenging action experience on Switch 2.
The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon continues the expansive Calvard arc, placing players back in the roles of Van Arkwright and the Arkwright Solutions team as they confront the shadowy Ouroboros organization. The game combines intricate world-building with a narrative that intertwines political intrigue, personal stories, and high-stakes adventures across the continent of Zemuria. Combat retains the series' signature turn-based system, while introducing new mechanics such as shard commands, awakening, and the time-manipulating Zoc, offering deeper strategic options in both field encounters and command battles. Players can explore richly detailed environments, uncover hidden side quests, and engage with a diverse cast of characters, making each choice and interaction meaningful. The Deluxe Edition provides extras like a digital soundtrack and a mini art book, enhancing immersion for longtime fans. With its balance of challenging gameplay, thoughtful storytelling, and dynamic world exploration, The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon is set to release on January 15, 2026, marking a significant milestone for the series on Nintendo Switch 2.
This huge national project, even bigger than the Zypha announced out of nowhere, is just one giant smokescreen for what they're really trying to accomplish.
Ignition, lifts off.
Take this! You're worthless!
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, scheduled for release in 2026, immerses players in a thrilling first-person action-adventure set in 1937, bridging the gap between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. Players assume the role of Indiana Jones as he races to stop a shadowy organization from exploiting the ancient power hidden within the Great Circle, a network of mysterious global sites. Gameplay blends exploration, environmental puzzles, and combat with a mix of first-person and third-person perspectives, enhancing immersion. Iconic whip-based traversal, stealth mechanics, and interactive environments challenge players to think creatively while navigating diverse locales, including the pyramids of Egypt, the Himalayas, Shanghai, and Vatican City. The narrative unfolds through a combination of linear, story-driven sequences and expansive open areas, emphasizing both adventure and discovery without spoiling plot details. With voice and motion capture by Troy Baker and Indiana's appearance modeled on Harrison Ford, the game delivers cinematic flair alongside engaging gameplay. Dynasty Warriors Origins, scheduled for release on January 22, 2026, reimagines the hack-and-slash formula for the Nintendo Switch 2, placing players in the role of Xillia, an amnesiac martial artist caught in the turbulent events of the Three Kingdoms era. Unlike traditional entries in the series, this installment focuses on a single protagonist, allowing for deeper character development and a more personal narrative that intertwines with historical events like the Yellow Turban Rebellion and the Battle of Chibi. Combat retains the franchise's signature large-scale battles, but introduces refined mechanics emphasizing strategic troop commands, environmental interaction, and adaptive enemy behavior. Players navigate sprawling battlefields, choosing when to engage in direct combat, coordinate allied units, or exploit terrain advantages, creating dynamic and tactical encounters. Side objectives, hidden collectibles, and character progression systems encourage exploration and replayability. With cinematic cutscenes, rich voice acting, and detailed period environments, the game delivers an immersive historical experience.
For the sake of your pride, death to the Hun! The yellow heaven rises!
Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave introduces players to a new land and a compelling narrative centered around the Heroic Games, a grand tournament where participants compete for a wish granted by the mysterious Divine Sovereign. Players follow Kai, a young warrior determined to save his father, as he navigates the tournament alongside other characters such as Theodora, Dietrich, and Lida, each with their own motives and storylines. The game retains the series' signature turn-based tactical combat while adding fresh mechanics like Blaze Gambits and Emblem Rings, which allow summoning legendary allies and strategic advantages in battle. Character interactions, branching narrative paths, and a dynamic world encourage thoughtful decision-making and replayability, blending personal stories with large-scale conflicts. Fans will recognize subtle connections to prior titles, including appearances by Sothis and Heroes Relics, without needing prior knowledge of the series. With detailed maps, engaging combat, and layered storytelling, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is scheduled for release on 2026, promising a deep and rewarding tactical RPG experience for both newcomers and longtime fans on Nintendo Switch 2.
This blade is my full strength.
There's a man I hate so much that simply killing him will not satisfy me. For that reason, I refuse to die.
Kirby Air Riders brings the high-speed racing and whimsical charm of the Kirby universe to Nintendo Switch 2, offering players a mix of competitive racing, exploration, and strategic combat. Players can hop into a variety of customizable hovercraft-like vehicles and race across expansive tracks in modes such as Top Ride, Road Trip, and the fan-favorite City Trial, which has been reimagined to support up to 16 players in team-based and free-for-all challenges. Combat and obstacle navigation are key, with environmental hazards, power-ups, and dynamic track elements keeping every race unpredictable. A new versus boss mode pits players against large enemies, including iconic series characters, adding cooperative and competitive depth. Customization extends to vehicles and unlockable headwear, while Amiibo integration allows additional bonuses and training features. The game balances single-player missions with robust online multiplayer, creating a versatile and engaging experience for both casual and competitive players. Kirby Air Riders is scheduled for release on November 20th, 2025, promising fast-paced fun and inventive gameplay for Nintendo Switch 2 audiences.
Summon figure players that you can train. Your figure players will level up as they compete, and their machine's proficiency level will also increase. Plus, with the Amiibo, you can swap riders.
Yoshi and the Mysterious Book invites players into a whimsical, side-scrolling adventure, where Yoshi explores the magical pages of a sentient book named Mr. E, who has lost the ability to read its own content. Players guide Yoshi through vibrant chapters filled with diverse creatures, each possessing unique abilities that can be used to solve puzzles, traverse obstacles, and uncover hidden secrets. The game's visual style draws inspiration from stop-motion animation, giving the levels a tactile, storybook-like quality that enhances immersion and charm. Gameplay emphasizes exploration and creative problem-solving rather than combat, encouraging players to interact with environments and characters in inventive ways. Collecting and learning from the book's pages adds a layer of progression and discovery, making each level feel rewarding and engaging.
With intuitive controls, accessible mechanics, and subtle layerings of challenge, the game balances casual enjoyment with satisfying gameplay depth. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is scheduled for release in spring 2026, offering Nintendo Switch 2 players a fresh, imaginative, and visually captivating platforming experience.
Break the rock. It looks like there are still lots of unusual creatures residing within the book. A page-turning adventure awaits.
Persona 3 Reload is a modern reimagining of the classic RPG, bringing the rich world and deep mechanics of the original to Nintendo Switch 2 players. In the game, you step into the shoes of a transfer student who discovers the Dark Hour, a mysterious hidden time that exists between days. Partnering with the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad, SEES, you explore Tartarus, a massive, ever-shifting tower, battling shadows and uncovering secrets that affect both the supernatural and everyday life. The game masterfully blends turn-based combat with social simulation, allowing players to manage school life, build relationships, and strengthen bonds that directly impact battles. Strategic use of personas, environmental interaction, and turn-based skills create challenging, tactical combat that rewards planning and experimentation. Enhanced visuals, streamlined interfaces, and quality-of-life improvements make navigating daily schedules and dungeon exploration seamless, preserving the series' depth while welcoming newcomers. .007. First Light immerses players in the early career of James Bond, exploring his origins as a newly inducted agent in MI6's 00 program. The story follows Bond as he navigates his first major mission, confronting a rogue operative whose actions threaten global security. Gameplay emphasizes stealth, strategy, and careful planning, challenging players to gather intelligence through eavesdropping, reconnaissance, and subtle infiltration. Players can use disguises, interact with the environment, and manipulate situations to gain an advantage, with combat remaining tactical and situational rather than purely action-focused. Inspired by IO Interactive's Hitman series, the game also features cinematic sequences, high-speed chases, and complex scenarios that reward thoughtful decision-making. Enhanced graphics and optimized controls for Nintendo Switch 2 make the espionage experience highly immersive. 007 First Light is scheduled for release on March 27, 2026, delivering a gripping, story-driven adventure that blends tactical gameplay with the thrill of spycraft.
Slips through our fingers for the last line of defense.
Someone just tried to kill me.
Tell me you caught him.
Dragon Quest VII Reimagined takes the classic JRPG adventure and updates it for Nintendo Switch 2, delivering a visually striking, diorama-inspired world while keeping the series' signature charm. Players step into the role of a young hero, tasked with restoring lost fragments of history across a vast, interconnected world. The game blends traditional turn-based combat with modern enhancements, such as the moonlighting system that allows characters to equip two classes simultaneously, and vocation perks, which grant unique abilities based on class choices. Exploration is encouraged, with puzzles, side quests, and hidden areas rewarding curiosity, while visible overworld enemies and tactical battle options streamline encounters. Storytelling has been refined to focus on the core narrative, balancing nostalgia with new content that adds depth without bloating the experience. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is scheduled for release on February 5th, 2026, promising Switch 2 players a deep, strategic, and visually captivating journey through a revitalized fantasy world. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond returns players to the iconic first-person adventure of Samus Aran, this time on the mysterious planet Vuros. Scheduled for release on December 4th, 2025 for both Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. The game builds on the franchise's signature mix of exploration, puzzle solving, and dynamic combat. Players can traverse expansive environments, uncovering hidden secrets and engaging intense battles with a variety of alien adversaries. New mechanics, including psychic abilities that allow Samus to manipulate objects and enemies, add a strategic dimension to both combat and navigation, while her classic arsenal remains integral to survival. The Switch 2 version enhances visuals and performance, supporting high frame rates and improved resolution for a more immersive experience. But gameplay remains fully enjoyable on the original Switch. With interconnected levels, clever level design, and rewarding exploration, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond balances classic franchise elements with fresh innovations, offering both longtime fans and newcomers a compelling, story-driven sci-fi adventure. And that wraps up our countdown of the top 30 upcoming Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 games for 2025 and 2026. Which titles are you most hyped to play? If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth gaming coverage, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.